A very good morning to all the esteemed dignitaries, principals, faculty members, students, and all the participants joining us online for the 11th monthly online lecture series on Universal Human Values organized by VTU UHV Cell. I'm Dr. Priti Patil, member UHV Cell VTU, and it is my privilege to serve as Master of Ceremony for this distinguished event. Today's lecture is an important milestone in our ongoing efforts to nurture values-driven education for all the first semester BE and BTech students across VTU affiliated institutions. Now, I invite Professor H.R. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, Coordinator VTU UHV Cell and Regional Director, Regional Office, Bangalore, to kindly deliver welcome address and set the tone for today's session.
Thank you, madam. Ellarigu namaskaraಗಳು. Respected Professor Anil D. Sahasrabudhe sir, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Vidyashankar sir, respected Registrar, Dr. Prasad B. Rampure sir, respected Registrar Evaluation, Dr. U.J. Ujjwal sir, respected principals, faculty members, and dear participants. A very good morning to one and all. It is my honor and privilege to warmly welcome each one of you to the 11th monthly lecture series organized by the VTU EHV Cell on Universal Human Values. Respected Professor Anil D. Sahasrabudhe, Chairman of NBA, NEFT, EC, and former Chairman of AICT New Delhi. Sir, we are truly honored by your presence, your pioneering contribution to engineering education, and your emphasis on value-based learning are a true inspiration to the entire academic community. We warmly welcome you, sir, and look forward to your insightful address. I welcome you, sir, once again. I am equally delighted to extend a warm welcome to our beloved Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Vidyashankar sir, in absentia. Today, sir is unable to join us in person today due to an engagement in Bangalore. Continues to guide VTU with his visionary leadership, his support, and has been instrumental in strengthening initiative like the UHV lecture series. I welcome Professor Vidyashankar sir in absentia. I also extend a heartful welcome to our registrar, Dr. Prasad B. Rampure sir, to this online lecture and request him to preside over the function. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our Registrar Evaluation, Dr. U.J. Ujjwal sir, and as I welcome you, sir, Ujjwal sir, and also our Finance Officer, Dr. Prashant Nayak sir. Your presence and support are greatly appreciated. The UHV lecture series has become a vital platform for promoting human values, ethical conduct, and professional responsibility among our academic community across Karnataka. On behalf of VTU and the UHV Cell, I warmly welcome all principals, faculty members, students, and academic leaders joining us today. Thank you all for being here. We look forward to an enriching and inspiring session. Namaste, Jai Hind, and Jai Karnataka. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the welcome address. It is my honor to invite Dr. Prasad B. Rampure, sir, Registrar VTU Belgavi, to deliver the opening remarks. Sir, please.
A very good morning to Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, Sri Ujjwal sir, Jagan Reddy sir, Preeti, Madam Preeti, all the principals of the colleges, and my dear students. In fact, it is an honor to share a dais with Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe. We have been looking upon him as a guiding force. Thank you, sir, for coming here. As far as this series is concerned, I think we have been doing quite a good show. The students have been learning a lot from all these things. As far as my note is concerned, the welcome note is concerned, what I can only say as far as engineering education in Karnataka and whole India, what we can say is we should have a touch of human values also. Not necessary that we have only the engineering knowledge. Everybody knows that in the entire world we have our flag everywhere. Entire universe, India's flag is flying very high. As far as engineering is concerned, like we see that engineering is often seen as a field of machines, numbers, and technology. But in reality, it is a field that deeply touches human life. Every design we create, every system we build, and every solution we offer ultimately impacts people. And that is why engineers must not only be technically skilled, but also guided by strong human values. Human values play a very, very important role. Human values are principles like honesty, empathy, respect, responsibility, and integrity. These values shape our decisions and define our character. In engineering, they play a crucial role because even a small mistake or an unethical move can affect thousands of people. First, you ensure ethical practice. An engineer must commit to honesty and fairness. Whether designing a bridge, writing a code, or conducting a research, cutting corners may save time. We can save a lot of time and money, but certainly will cost hundreds and thousands of lives. Secondly, engineers have a great social responsibility. We must use our knowledge to solve real-time problems, uplift society, especially the rural, and improve the quality of life. Technology should serve humanity and not the other way around. Values promote sustainable development with empathy and environmental awareness. Engineers make choices that protect nature and safeguard the future of the coming generation. Coming generation is very, very important because whatever we make, we have to leave a lot of things for the upcoming generation. Finally, values help in teamwork and professionalism. Respect, cooperation, and discipline make an engineer not just a good professional, but also a good human being. To conclude, I can only say that true engineering is a combination of sharp mind and a compassionate heart. When engineers uphold human values, they don't just build machines, we can say that they build a better world. And finally, we can say that as far as our tagline of our university is concerned, that is मौल्यात्मक समाज कागे, मौल्यात्मक शिक्षण कागे, मौल्य आधारित जीवन आगे, वंदे मातु, madala manavagu. So we all will become first manav, then we can think of really a good place to live, a world as a best place to live in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm opening remarks. Your words have really set a wonderful tone for this event. Now, it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Professor Anil D. Sahasrabudhe, sir, Chairman of National Board of Accreditation, National Education Technology Forum, that is NETF, and Executive Committee of NAC. Professor Sahasrabudhe, sir, stands as a visionary leader in the domain of technical and higher education in India. Born in 1957, sir completed his BE in mechanical engineering, securing first rank and a gold medal from Karnataka University, followed by master's and PhD from prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He has been instrumental in shaping education reforms and quality assurance processes, championing innovation, technology adoption, and UHV in curricula. Currently, he is actively guiding major educational technology and quality assurance bodies, making a profound impact on the future of Indian higher education. We are truly honored to have such a great personality, Professor Sahasrabudhe, sir, with us today and look forward to his valuable insights. Sir, please.
Namaskara. Dr. Vidya Shankar, Vice Chancellor, may be in absentia, but his heart and soul certainly is with us. Dr. Prasad Rampure, Registrar of the University. Dr. Ujjwal, another Registrar. Dr. Sudarshan Reddy, Dr. Preeti Patil. Deans, heads of the departments, principals of different colleges under VTU, some of the faculty members, and more importantly, the students. I am given to understand that this is the 11th monthly lecture which has been going on. It's a great initiative by VTU to have a monthly lecture whereby we can invite some of the people who will be able to deliver a talk, address, and also we will have a two-way communication in terms of even question answer, suggestions for further improvement of the program, and even at a national level, what are things happening and what probably needs to be added on to become better society, better value-based system, or in terms of variety of things where nation can also get developed. And that's why I congratulate, first of all, VTU for starting this kind of a initiative. My best wishes to them for continuing all of this. Now, coming to the topic on hand, where I have been asked to talk about universal human values, I would like to reflect few things which brought AICT to start this program in the first place. We should understand the background. Some of the students who are in the online mode listening to me will correlate with what I am saying. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಗದಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಿಂದ, ಕೆಲವರು ಪಟ್ಟಣದಿಂದ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್. ಕೆಲವರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 12ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ವರೆಗೆ ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಕಾನ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊಡೆದವರು ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿ ಇರೋರು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನೆ, ಕಾರು, ಬಂಗ್ಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಹೌಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೋ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸಾರ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಅಂತ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. And therefore, what we observed as a director of a college, or even in an IIT for that matter, was that students come from variety of backgrounds, rich and poor, English medium and mother tongue educated students, rural and urban. So there is a big difference between different sections of the society in the same classroom. You can have all varieties. If you take permutation combination, which I said, it is 6 factorial. And therefore, each one of them, when they are asked to come to the class after the orientation program of one day, which is normally held in all the colleges and universities, when the first year students join, normally their parents also come for keeping their children wards into the college or university. So there is a big program in an auditorium. Non-stop lecture will go on from the vice chancellor or the principal, as the case may be, the deans, the HODs, about the institution, what all things are existing, which kind of facilities exist, and rules of do's and don'ts, the credit or the marking system, examination, courses, all of that is bombarded in just about 3 to 4 hours. Normally it starts around 9:30, 10 o'clock and goes on up to 1 o'clock. In 3 hours, it is like seeing a movie. And in the movie, there are several characters whom we see, but it is a storyline. Therefore, people understand that cinema or the story. Whereas in 3 hours, what is not known to them in their lifetime till their 10th or 12th standard is suddenly bombarded in 3 hours. And next day, the classes start. They are given a timetable and they are all asked to come in. And this is a real big shock that these students from 3 areas, rural area, Kannada or local language or mother tongue educated children, and from poor families get a shock of their life. People from rich families, they have got access to internet, they have access to books, their parents are educated, discussions happen on dining table, so they are well aware of many things. And their schooling is also in an English medium, so they understand the classes held in English very easily. And those who are from cities, they show off because they come from a big city like Bangalore, Mysuru, Hubli, whatever. Whereas someone coming from Chikballapur, some taluka there, will get zapped actually. What is happening here? All the children, they understand everything that is being taught by the teacher. They are able to answer. I'm not understanding half the things. I'm not able to communicate. So the confidence goes down of such students who come from, as I said, rural, local language medium, poor background students. And therefore, they, even though have scored in their 10th, 12th grade, 85, 90% marks, and therefore they got admission in engineering, they are completely lost in that jungle of city life of the engineering college. And then some of them fail in the first year, or they get less marks, they get demotivated. But the bright children of such nature being lost for our country is a sad story for us. And this was what was noticed in multiple universities and colleges where I was dealing with. So we decided there must be some mechanism by which we should bring all of them together. Their learning abilities should improve, and they should all become collaborative in nature in terms of learning from each other, respecting each other. And respecting, I'm mentioning this word, I will mention it multiple times later also probably, is because in a classroom, when some student from Kannada medium, rural area, poor chap wants to answer something and he fumbles, he's not able to communicate in English well, other people who know English well, they start laughing at him. They make fun of him. And then no respect for that fellow. No. Therefore, that generation will get lost actually from out of all of this. And therefore, we wanted that all should be given due respect. And that's why this program, which was not just a 3-hour program or 1-day program, but we advocated what is known as 3 weeks student induction program, which is based on universal human values. That's how I'm connecting to the subject, universal human values. So there were experiments which were done long ago, earlier also, right from IIT Delhi, Uttar Pradesh Technical University, UPTU, which is now called as Abdul Kalam Technical University, then Punjab Technical University, even IIT BHU, Triple IT Hyderabad, and many others. They had their own versions of what we call as student orientation programs, which they had developed, which were rooted in our Indian values and universal human values. We studied all of them. We had a committee headed by then Dr. Sangal, who was the director of IIT BHU and formerly director of also Triple IT Hyderabad, professor of IIT Kanpur, who initiated earlier long back in IIT Kanpur this kind of a program. And then we had Dr. Rajneesh Arora, the Vice Chancellor of the Punjab Technical University long ago. All of them were put together. Rajul Asthana, a Kanpur IIT student. So we created a robust structure of what is called as Universal Human Values Program for student induction. When the students come in, it is not just half-day orientation program, but little longer one. Thereby, they all get amalgamated, integrated, and start feeling oneness with the institution or the college or university. That was the starting point. And then we remember that the pandemic broke out in 2020 and we were not able to continue conducting such programs. And we innovated and started using online medium like we are using now. In an online way also, we can have a student induction program as well as universal human values program. We started training faculty in that. And that is how the roots of universal human values program have taken shape. Apart from what we are doing in India, I will come back in more detail later. But globally, there are certain values which are recognized as universal. No matter you go to any geography, any country, nation, any type of civilization, any religion, any type of society that you go, whether it is in US or in South America, African nations, European nations, Asian nations, Australia, New Zealand, or Japan or Tokyo, wherever you go, there are certain things which everyone has equal weightage for it in terms of value system. Whenever we call value system, there are value systems which may change a little bit here and there, but by and large, some of the values are common across the globe. What are those? The most important thing I'm repeating, as I said, is the earlier also I said student to student, what is needed is respect. Student to teacher, you require respect. Student to vice chancellor, principal, you require respect. But the other side is also equally important. Faculty has to also respect a student. HOD has to also respect a faculty member. A vice chancellor has to respect his deans, HODs, and faculty members. If it is not mutual, then you lose what is known as trust and faith. You are only extracting work from me, but not ready to accept me also as an individual, as a human being. And this is a very crucial thing. Therefore, whether someone is rich or poor, whether someone speaks in English or in Kannada, whether someone speaks in Hindi, or whether someone has come from a metro city like Mumbai, or from a very small tribal village in maybe Jammu Kashmir or Nagaland, they all feel, as a human trait, inside everyone, there is what is known as some respect, expectation from everyone. You may order something because you are a boss, that's fine, and make me work. But while doing so, if you only scold me and say that you are not doing this and you have to do this, maybe outwardly I will say yes, yes, and accept it. But inside my heart, I would keep very deep rooted, what we say, hatred about that particular person. So, as an individual, as a human being, probably this does not exist in the animal world. For a dog or a cow, if you beat, they will accept and keep quiet. Sometimes dog also bites back, no doubt about it. But most of them will accept because they are weak, meek. Whereas human being, even if that person may be weak in strength, inside the heart that is kept in mind. And I have observed that even in animals in some extent. But human being the highest species, evolved species, has great psychological things, left brain, right brain, their thinking ability, comprehension is different from all other animals. And that's why we call it as the highest species, Homo sapiens. So this respect is inherent, which is required, which is expected. And if you don't give it, there will be some kind of reaction from them. Therefore, we need to have this. And this is accepted worldwide. I was listening today morning in the TV. South African president was talking about the US president who had said that he will not attend G20 meet or something. He said, we don't care. So, respect is mutual. A G20 summit being held in South Africa, if they are not ready to come, they say, get lost. So, that mutual respect was necessary. So, whether it is now in terms of a trade war which is going on, each country feels that we should be given equal respect. And this respect is a very important human value which we must understand. The second one is about being compassionate. When we talk about compassion, I will give multiple examples. Rule of law is fine. We all expect that everyone should follow the rules and regulations of a college or a university. Is all fine. There is attendance. There is a timing of the college or university. Morning 9 o'clock, college or university starts up to 5 o'clock, and then one can go home. This is all normal thing. But now, suppose some person comes late on a particular day instead of 9 o'clock at 9:30, being the head of the department or being the vice chancellor, if we say that I will cut your half-day salary because you have come late, I think there is a problem. Maybe if someone is doing it as a routine measure, regularly being disobedient, every day coming late by 1 hour, 2 hours, then you may take some action. But the first thing of a leader or the head of the department or an organization is to call him to your room, not in public, and ask, why did you come late today? There could be some reason. Maybe someone at home may be sick, not well. Someone was to be taken to hospital, or some guests arrived suddenly. They could not leave them and come back immediately. So there may be some reason. He will tell. Sometimes a routine defaulter may create new stories. There are many instances of that time. That some mother-in-law expired, and after 6 months again, sometime he is late. He will again tell the same reason. So we know who is truthful and who is not truthful. But these are all very rare exceptions. Most of the people have some genuine difficulty because of which they have come late. So if an authority or the leader asks this question in private, because some of these issues may not be told in the public, may have some difficulty. Sometimes I would have fought with my wife and therefore got disturbed, came late. I cannot tell it in public, but I can tell it in front of my HOD or the Vice Chancellor. Then I can tell him, why are you fighting? You must close your, have good relations within the family. Some pep talk will be given by the leader, and then next day onwards, everything will be fine. So I think this is one type of compassion which the leadership should show. Or similarly, teachers should show to the students. Routine defaulters, I'm not saying, again, I'm repeating. Then sometime my talk may be used out of context and says, sir, apine bola tha. ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನೇಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಂತ. ನಮ್ ನೋಡಿ ನಮ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನೇಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಲೇಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಬೈತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ದಿನಾ ಲೇಟ್ ಬರೋರಿಗೆ ಇದು ರೂಲ್ ಲಾಗೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. You must understand that spirit behind it. I'm only the spirit behind it. And another thing, head of the department may also say, yes, fine. In the next 1 week, because of some problem at home, you are going to come late every day by about 1 hour instead of 9, 10 o'clock. Fine. You adjust your classes so that your students don't get affected. And because you are coming late 1 hour every day, why can't you stay back 1 hour later and then do some extra work and go back? That time the teacher should not object, because his problem was in the morning, not in the evening. Or if the problem is there during that week, both in the morning and evening, you should also tell him that maybe after 2 weeks, when there is some kind of a extra work required in the college or university, you must spare more time. That time you should not say, why you are asking me beyond office hours, now you have to give overtime. I think this kind of logic should not come from the teachers also. So I think it is again mutual respect, mutual understanding and compassion. If that is there, our work will be very easy. Secondly, other things which everyone looks for is honesty and integrity. I think even Registrar Prasad Rampure mentioned about honesty, integrity as very important universal human values. I'm giving you a very extraordinary example. Even the companies which cheat the government in terms of taxing and all that, when recruiting employees, they want all to be very honest and integrity, because honesty, integrity, they want from the employees towards that employer, but the employer himself may be dishonest with the government, maybe. But even such institutions, organizations expect honesty from the people whom they employ, because they don't want to get cheated. Whereas they are themselves cheating. One day they will be exposed and employees will talk about it and then say, if you are not doing it, why are you insisting? It's a different matter. But everyone expects honesty and integrity. And that's why one of the important things during recruitment, there are many students who are here. There are no shortcuts in life. Hard work, honesty, integrity only will take you places. Without that, you may have some benefit temporarily, but as soon as you are caught, everything collapses. You may lose a job. And therefore, these are very, very important human values, which is universal. You take any company in the world, whether in the USA, in Germany or France or in India, they all expect their employees to be highly honest and highly integrity oriented. This is a universal value. Then comes another parameter which is similar to compassion, is empathy. We have people with some problems, actually, some disabilities. Please remember, even our entire way of using the terminology, words have also kept on changing. Just about 3 decades ago, or when we were students also, or beyond that also, we used to have a category for reservation which was called as physically handicapped. Even the symbol used was PH. Physically handicapped means they are handicapped. They have a lot of problems. This is what was recognized as the nomenclature of that. Then it's gradually changed. They were changed to physically handicapped to differentially abled. And from differentially abled to now we call Divyang. So even terminology wise we are changing. But many times during our childhood, many children used to make fun of those people who have some problem of having walking difficulty or hearing difficulty or visual difficulty. People used to make fun of them. And that is nothing but like ragging. Of course, legally, there have been now many things which have been come into place, because of which, if you do anything like that, you will be penalized. But forget about penalty, penalization, and all those aspects. But that sensitization about taking care of such people is very important. That's what is called empathy. Many times, such people do not want your sympathy. Sympathy is, oh, bechara, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇವನ್ಗೆ ಹೀಗ್ಯಾಕೆ ದೇವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ, ಈ ತರ ಸಿಂಪಥಿ ಬೇಡ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ how I can help them without mentioning anything that I am helping you, and that is empathy. And so that is also a human, character which is important. Then comes in our day-to-day dealing, fairness. Fairness comes in all places, right from homes to job places, colleges, universities, or in our legal system. And that's why we call it as justice to be done. Justice is one word which is used quite often by all of us. So fairness means if there is any litigation or any problem between two individuals, two societies, dealing with that situation in a fair manner is very important. And fairness is also a universal value, universal human value. That's why whether it is water sharing between states, or electricity sharing between states or between nations, or representing when there are wars, etc., there are problems, or there are dialogues which happen everywhere. Each country, each nation, each state, each individual, each society expects fairness. And fairness also is accompanied by transparency. No, transparency, because whatever we are doing, it should be open, it should be visible. And one very famous statement I would like to quote is, we should not only be fair, but we should also appear to be fair. We should not only be honest, but we should also appear to be honest. There are people who appear to be honest, but they are not honest. That is not good. The people appear to be fair, but not fair. This is not good. People should both appear to be fair and honest, and this should also be actually be fair and honest. And that is a very important universal human value. And to subscribe to this, or to strengthen this value, we must go back to what Mahatma Gandhi had said once, that if you have to take any decision about any person or individual, you step into the shoes of that person, opposite side, and decide if there is a decision taken in this manner, what I would have felt. That first parameter which I said, respect. That will that judgment, will that fair thing which justice is being done acceptable to me? If I have done a wrong thing, I must get punishment. So if someone is going to give me punishment, am I going to accept it? If I am going to accept it because I have done some mistake, if the other person takes a decision to give me punishment, I will accept it, because it is universal, it is fair. Whereas I don't accept that punishment because that is not correct, whatever I have done does not deserve that punishment, then I have no right to do that punishment to the other fellow also. So that is why it is often said that step into the shoes of the person about whom the decision is going to be taken, and whatever outcome comes, whether that outcome is acceptable to me as an opposite side, then I should take that decision. Otherwise, I should not take that decision. And that is the fairness. And many times our movies and many drama I have seen where the scene of the judiciary is there, and the judge comes into a very difficult situation. And that's why one of the symbolic thing which is represented in all the courts and everything is balance is there, and there are two sides, and both are equally balanced. That is the justice symbol. That means one has to be fair to both sides, and that fairness and justice is also a very important human value system. Simple other things are, we all expect love and affection. So if I expect from others love and affection, I should also provide love and affection to others. And that fairness, love, affection is not only in the colleges and university, right from family level. If I do a mistake, father and mother have every right to give a penalty punishment. But because I didn't know, if I have not done a mistake deliberately, I should not be penalized. With empathy, with love and affection, they must correct us. This is the expectation of the children. And therefore, these characteristics of love and affection are very important, that you must deal with them whenever some mistake occurs. Like, for example, copying. Many students do copying for passing the examination. And we have to tell that this is a wrong practice, not acceptable. First time someone has done it, we may excuse with our love and affection and do correct course correction. Next time you do, you are going to fail in the exam. That is a principle which we should be able to adopt. Then we have, as I said, coexistence. We all live in the same society. We all breathe the same air. We all have the same blood groups AB, O positive, negative, etc. We are all having coexistence. We all breathe. We all take same water from the same source, tap water or well water, wherever we live. So we are together, part of the nature, part of the system, and therefore this coexistence phenomenon is also one of the most important traits that human values they expect. Then in an organization, there is something called loyalty. There may be a competitor organization, competing university, competing college, or a competing company where we are doing job. Then you should not share the secrets or confidential information of your organization with the other organization. Whatever is transparently available is available. That is shareable. That is available on the website. But if some important things are being done in a particular organization, a new development is taking place, you should not share it with others. That loyalty is expected from everyone. There is a loyalty expected between family members. I should not tell what is happening in my family to the other families. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಜಗಳ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕದ್ದು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಲಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. Then comes the most important part I'm going to. Most of us always are after our rights. I'm giving again example of faculty members. Here they are on the panel. AICT, UGC will have some workload per week defined as the responsibilities of faculty members. I hope it is there. 16 hours for assistant professors, 14 hours or 12 hours for associate professors, 6 hours for professors and vice chancellor or the principals of the institution, and so on. They are defined in our pay commission, whatever facilities you are going to get, salary, pay scale, other benefits. Along with that, what is the number of hours of work per week that you have to do? This is mentioned there. Now, because the word used there, unfortunately, is workload. As soon as the word load comes, ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಾರ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 16 hours ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಗೆ ಇರೋದಾದ್ರೆ, one particular semester, suppose the nature of courses are such, the faculty shortage is there, some assistant professor is given 18 hours of teaching per week. He will come with his right. Only 16 hours are to be allotted to me. Why are you giving 18 hours? He will go and fight with the principal. On the other hand, in some other year, some other semester, he was given only 14 hours of teaching. He did not say that, why are you giving 2 hours less? You give me 2 hours. He will not say that, or she will not say. She will say when it is increased by 2 hours, but not decreased by 2 hours. So the very word load is itself a misnomer. We should say it is an opportunity given to you, because there are 40 hours of work that each one has to do in a week. And 40 hours include all variety of things: teaching, laboratory, even your assessments, your other co-curricular activities, solving difficulties of students. All of this is also part of that. And therefore, this 40 hours, part of that is 16 hours of teaching. Don't take it as load. If it is plus minus 2 hours, 3 hours here and there, we must all accept it. And that is why don't raise the issue of right, my right. The right is only when you are right, not when you are wrong. So the duties and responsibilities are also equally important along with right. So one of the human values is we demand right, fine, but we should also respect our duties and responsibilities and cater to them. That is what is expected as universal human values. Since Registrar Rampureji said about civil engineers, their professionalism, ethics, and when we graduate and come out and start professing our profession, uh, all variety of ones, they have certain ethics to be followed. And for engineers, ethics is again honesty, integrity in terms of if you are a civil engineer, if the concrete mix is required to be 1:6, 1:6, you know that, or if it is a mechanical engineering, strength of material to be used for a particular bolt, nut, etc., should be of that level. So if we don't follow our professional attitude of testing the material and using it in the right proportion, catastrophic incidents will happen. Bridges will collapse. Maybe some automotive will explode. All of those kind of things will happen, and therefore, our professionalism is important. Whatever we have studied, learned as theory, we have to learn to practice through the internships if required. And after we know how the industry is working, practicing, in our whole life, we should follow our ethical practice of our profession. Same is the case with doctors, same is the case with lawyers, same is the case with architects. So every profession, even as a teacher, we are all faculty members. Our role is to create the next generation, to create our society. Teachers have the biggest role. Although engineer or doctor, they have one short incident activity. Our activity is to create the entire several generations of students. Once we become a faculty member, we are there for about 30 to 40 years. Every 5-6 years, one generation will pass on. So at least we are creating 7-8 generations of students who will go into the society and they will perform their life activities in that place. So if our attitude, our behavior is worth emulating, then we are transferring it to all those 6-7 generations of students. If I'm saying that we have to be truthful, we told truthfulness, honesty, integrity, all of that. And there are examples that at home, father is sitting and some son is also studying somewhere. Suddenly mobile phone rings, and instead of father, because it is nearer to the table where child is studying, he will pick it up and he is about to answer the question asked by the other side. ಪಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So what truthfulness our children will adopt it. Same way in the school, in the college, in the university, what teachers are professing or what they are talking in their classrooms, if they are not following, students will not follow. That is one of the most important things. That's why we must first do what we want to say and then tell it to the students. And that is why I am raising very important terminology used in the Taittiriya Upanishad at the time of graduation, convocation. There is an oath taken everywhere. Are you taking oath or not? In universities, in the convocation, all the students are asked to stand up. In some places, they put a hand on the heart. Somewhere they will put hand like this, or in some format, and then they will read out. Someone will read, and someone, all students graduating will reiterate it. In our ancient Gurukula system, when the students were graduating and going out, Taittiriya Upanishad has very beautiful statements which are true. Today, all universities do it. Whether we follow it later or not is a different thing. That is where I will come to. But Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, no, you be truthful, you have to be honest, you have to follow your professionalism. Dharma is not religion. You have to follow your profession in a professional way. And Swadhyayan Maya Pramadaha, that means you have to keep learning. Learning will not stop after you go out of the Gurukula or after you go out of the university with a degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Master of Engineering, or PhD. Your education is not over. It is just the beginning. Lifelong learning. This is a new word which has become very common because technologies are changing so rapidly that what you learned in the university is outdated by the time you go out of the university. And therefore, you have to be a lifelong learner. And if the professors, people like me, are telling others that you have to be lifelong learners, are we ourselves lifelong learners? We have to introspect. If we are not lifelong learners, we have no authority to tell students to be lifelong learners. Then anyway, students will have to do lifelong learning because otherwise they will lose their jobs. So these are very important things. Now I come to all the nations of the world, whether they like it or not, they may say something, they may do something else, but respect sustainable development goals. Even Prasad Rampure in the beginning did tell about sustainability and sustainable development goals. Our association with nature is very, very important. So whatever we have got is from the nature, from our Dharti Mata. We call Bharat Mata. Bharat Mata is for our geography, but overall, it is the whole planet which has given us water, oxygen, food. All the benefits that we enjoy today are the gift of the nature. So we have to respect nature, we have to maintain it, and that's why all the 17 sustainable development goals are equally important. They are all, again, part of the universal human values. So I have listed out a variety of universal human values, which are all significant and important. And if we all follow that, and two fundamental principles which ancient Indian civilization talks about is Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu, that the whole world be happy. We never say, want to be happy. We want to be happy, no doubt. But along with me, we want the whole world also to be happy. And Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. Like in one family, brothers, sisters, they may fight. But when it comes to sharing, if there are limited resources, if the food cooked is less, we all share it equally amongst ourselves and be happy. Same way, how all the nations of the world can be collaborative, can be compassionate, can be what we call giving equal respect to each other, make everyone happy. This is our principle of Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. And that is why our nation during pandemic, when we had crisis all over the world, everyone was trying to develop vaccine for Corona, COVID-19. Many countries did develop vaccine. We also developed in Hyderabad Biotech Lab, Bharat Biotech, what is known as Covaxin. We gave it free of cost to more than 100 countries. Many other countries who developed vaccine wanted to make fast money out of that by exploiting the worst situation which was there across the globe. But our philosophy did not permit. We gave it free. That is what is again very important human element which other countries are not following. We must become the leaders in showing the whole world that world is one family, the whole planet is one. This is the only planet where life is known to exist as on today. We don't know if there are any other planets in any other solar system, any other galaxy life exists. But at least what we know today is life exists only on Earth, the planet here. Therefore, in order to survive, in order that our glaciers should continue, they should not melt, sea levels should not increase, oxygen levels should not deplete, and carbon dioxide should not increase. Therefore, net zero carbon, all these things, how green energy is to be created and used, all these are very important sustainable development goals, which are also part of the today's universal human values. So inculcation all of this happens, as I said, by first practice. If you practice, you can preach. If you don't practice, don't preach it. No one will listen to you. So there are cases where even if a teacher is very strict in terms of discipline and all that, but values are intact, very high integrity oriented, very fair in terms of justice, assignments, examination marks, no partiality, unbiased evaluation of the answers. Those such teachers are respected lifelong, and those who give more marks to get popularity, to get what we know as student feedback should be higher. For my promotion, on a scale of 5, if there is less than 2.5, vice chancellor will bang me, and therefore I will give more marks so that they will all give me 3.5, 4 on a scale of 5. If someone is doing it, maybe temporarily you feel benefited, but such cases, students will move away from you when they see you 10 years down the line on an airport. On the other hand, a teacher may be strict, but very compassionate, very empathetic, very honest. However strict that teacher may be, students, when they see that teacher 10 years, 20 years later, they will go and prostrate, namaskara ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ they have that respect developed. And that's why for students as well as for faculty, no shortcuts. Hard work, honesty, integrity. And that these universal human values are constant. And therefore, coming back to where I started, to inculcate all of this, to make people aware of all of this, we have this universal values 3-week student induction program. And for student induction program to be prepared, created, delivered, we have a 1-week faculty development program, which is also now available online, sometimes digital also. This is very important to understand the nuances. Because when you ask any fresh student who comes to the college, ask them, why have you come to engineering? Some will say, sir, I was not interested. My parents pushed me here, therefore I have come. My elder brother said, you have to take engineering, so I have come. Or my relatives, whatever. This is one set of students. Some other students would have taken engineering because the employability is nearly guaranteed. Compared to doing arts, BA, sociology, economics, there are less jobs. If I do BE, and especially BE computer science, job is almost guaranteed, therefore I came. So the education has become sort of a commodity. Education is become like, out of that, we need something like employment. Therefore, I have come. That is this philosophy of most of it. No one has come that I want to understand nature. I want to understand engineering. Why something does some. No student answers like this. That is a pity. So we have to tell them that world, globe, Prithvi, Earth has huge challenges in terms of sustainability, in terms of the industrialization, which has brought a lot of pollution in the cities, towns. Water is polluted. We can't drink water straight away from the river. Imagine 30, 40 years ago in our childhood, any river we used to go, we were able to take water in our hands and drink like this. Today, even the best of the rivers, it is all smelling, so much of dirt, we are hopeless. Unless it is purified, we will not be able to drink that water. So we have spoiled our planet to a great extent. So our next generation should be given planet in better place than what it was achieved by us. That is the principle. That is what we have to train them. And that is why during this universal human values induction program, all of these are there. Do you want to be happy? When we ask, which student or which faculty or which vice chancellor will say, no, I want to be unhappy? Everyone will say, I want to be happy. What are the sources of happiness? Many of us will tell, no, I want a big bungalow, beautiful farmhouse, a Mercedes car, some various types of physical, what we call pleasurable items, they will say. Is it the true happiness? If you get that car, will you become happy? On some day, you will see your car is maybe, what is that, Maruti Desire. Someone else is driving a Mercedes, you will feel envy and say that I'm unhappy because that fellow has that car. Why are you comparing? If you have even a scooter or a bicycle and you are able to carry on your business as usual, you should be happy. But our greed is maximum. Again, Mahatma Gandhi said there is enough in this planet for everyone's needs, but not for even the greed of one single individual. Yeah, I know. So I don't want to mention names of the people. Negative names I don't want to take. Positive name I have taken. Negative name I don't want to take. There are people with hundreds of flats, one big building in which whole building is owned, but still they are unhappy. Whereas there is someone in the remote village with small hut made of bamboo, covered by grass. Happily he lives, no air conditioner, the natural air conditioning, he is happy. So I think happiness is in the state of mind. Of course, I'm not saying that we should not get meals a day, two clothes to wear, shelter on our head, clean, good drinking water, oxygen to breathe. All of these are necessities. Beyond that, anything which we ask beyond that is a greed. I think happiness does not come from greed. Happiness is brought by the greed, whereas happiness is in self-sufficiency in whatever we have. And that is the spirit of self-rule or panchayat rule. At every level, governance should be good. All of these are principles which we should enunciate. So in our student induction program, apart from all the universal human values, some of the things which will get them employment is also important. Or some of them who will become entrepreneurs later is also equally. Therefore, some kind of training about the communication skills. We have how to do work, therefore internship. You have to have industrial visits. You should know the place where you are going to study, a neighborhood. What are the historical places nearby? Lectures and some of the experiential talks by some of the eminent people. If you organize all of this in the student induction program, and not computer games, but physical games, exercise, the importance of health, hygiene, maintenance of your body, mind, and brain. In our Indian philosophy, we talk about Sharira, Mana, Buddhi, and Atman. How do we evolve in all of this? Therefore, maintaining good body means good health. For that, exercise, for that, yoga, meditation, these are all elements through which you have better body. Similarly, respecting each other comes from that human value, and that's why meditation helps in this. So all of this is part of the universal human values program of ours. Something which is special to our country, I would like to mention, which is, although in our country it is universal, but may not be so universal across the globe. But we want it to become universal. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Guru Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. I think this civilizational great value system is not there in most countries of the world. And this is our spirit. I also told about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. But along with that, these four elements, very few countries, they respect their parents. And parents also don't respect their children. They throw them out after 18 years of age. They say, no, I will not take care of you. You have to do your work, job, etc. And if you want higher education, do it. Otherwise, go for a job. And therefore, those children also, after they go out of the house, they don't hardly come to the home. And in the old age, when the parents become 60, 70, 80 years old, these children will not take care of their parents. And that's why there are all old age homes in most of the countries of the world. In our country, unfortunately, there have been old age homes coming in. This is a sad story. There should be no old age home. They should be taken care of by the next generation, next to next generation. Grandchildren also enjoy living with grandparents. Many interesting stories are heard from the grandparents. Parents have no time because they have to go to office. Mother also goes to office. Who will tell the moral fabric of the society kept going? It is the grandparents, Dadi Ma, Ajji, Ajza, or the Kelsa. If they are not at home, how do children have a value imbibed? And therefore, our system of joint family system, not nuclear family, and having respect for father and mother. That's why I started with Matru Deva Bhava. Mother is the source of inspiration for most children. Take the stories of most eminent people, whether it is Kalam or Mashelkar or each one of them, they will tell the stories that because of their mother, despite poverty, they came up like this because of their mothers. And next comes the father, next comes their all relatives at home. And then our teachers, school to college to university, they have a role to play in their lives. And then finally, whenever some guest comes to our home, we offer first. In cities, it has slowly lapsed. But you go to any village, ಅವರು ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾರೇ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರು ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದೇ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ಯಾರದೇ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಪರಿಚಯದವ್ರು ಇರದೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಹೋದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮುಂಚೆ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ತಿನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಊಟ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ, ಚಾಯ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್. Whereas this is slowly getting lost in our cities. We don't know who is our neighbor. Fifth floor fellow doesn't know who is on the sixth floor, or sixth floor fellow does not know who is in the adjacent apartment. But in villages, even today, we have common festivals, Dasara, Diwali, ella ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Many things are done common, and that spirit. And one of the places where all of these activities happen sometimes is the temples. Temples are not just religious places where we go for praying the God. They are places where we have a community life, and which is very, very important. And most of the places, temples are at slightly higher altitude. You observe, most of the temples are ಗುಡ್ಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೋಗೋದು ಬರೋದು. ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕ್ಲೈಂಬಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇರ್ಸ್, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ. Secondly, because they are at a high altitude, if there is a flood in the village, you can go and take shelter there. And there are big halls in the temple where you can have not sermons only, but even teaching, many exercise, many things can be done as a social activity. So these are all temples, also are temples of learning by schools and colleges. So I think we have huge value system which we have from the ancient wisdom, Gurukula system to Nalanda, Takshila. We have got excellent 64 arts, music, draft, drama, dance. This is also part of the induction program. We should be aware of our value system, our ancient wisdom, both in science, culture, humanities, economics, political. In all facets, we had achieved the great heights. And if we are aware of it, we become confident. And that's why this is all to be told in this Universal Human Values program. All of this is embedded. I think I can go on, but I have completed more than 1 hour, I think. So I close here. And if there are any questions from the audience, I will tell few things, of course, another 5 minutes before I close, about new things which Ministry has undertaken, so that it is also useful to all of you. One is we have created a Swayam portal, which you are all aware, NPTEL for engineering programs. There are similarly management programs. There are programs of law, medicine, dance, music, economics. All of them are available on the Swayam MOOC platform. Employability, skill-oriented Swayam Plus courses are also there on the portal. We have created a unique ID for all students. I hope VTO has already taken care of it. All the results are given in the form of student with their APAR ID. APAR is a unique 12-digit ID, automated permanent academic account registry. If the results of semester are given for every student in an Excel sheet, along with the name of the student, the courses taken, and the grade secured, it will be deposited in academic bank of credits, which is validated, and therefore students need not carry hard copy certificate when they apply for job, when they apply for higher education, when they apply for entrance exam, when they apply for entrepreneurship. Wherever they go, they can only share their 12-digit ID, and authenticated credentials of the student are shared with whoever needs it. So this is a very important thing which only our country has done. No other country has done this. See, we are specialists in IT. That's why called IT superpower. We have created a translation tool. Some of you may be knowing Anuvadini. I don't know how many of you have heard. It can translate any book in English into any of the 22 Indian languages, including formatting. Means in the book you have chart, graph, pictures, font size different, color different. Exactly in another language, exactly same location, same chart, same figure, with the content being translated in another language, we are able to create. No other tool in the world creates it. Translations are available from Google, Microsoft. They do text translation. We can translate, including all features of the book, into another language. This is another thing. During COVID, we had COVID as the app, you all remember. 5 years back when we did vaccination, by the time we came out, we had a vaccination certificate in our mobile phone. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Whereas USA, so-called developed country, were giving handwritten certificates. They didn't have this kind of a technology. We have today UPI. I don't have to carry my purse, no credit card, nothing, only mobile with connectivity. I can go to the nook and corner, chai wala shop in the somewhere, coconut water or street vendor, or even tomorrow or many places. Coolies are also carrying their QR code, and you put it. I'm joking. Beggars will also carry QR code and say that you want to give 1 rupee, I will not accept, at least 10 rupees through QR code you give me. So 48% of the world's digital transactions are happening from here. So this APAR ID and Academic Bank of Credit is a unique way of identifying the right candidate with right credentials to be shared anywhere. So you don't have to carry hard copy, gazetted officer certified copy of the certificate. This is what technology wise we are able to do. In terms of interesting content, we are going to come with interesting platform called Vidya Setu very shortly, which will have teacher training modules for exciting content to be delivered in the classroom by the teachers. We already have Malviya Mission Teacher Training Centers where about NEP, about the professional development courses are already available. But many of them sometimes are not very interesting. We want to create very exciting, interesting content using animation, visualization, using augmented reality, virtual reality, so that what teachers learn, they can then take it to the classroom and teach it in the classroom in the same way. So teaching learning process can become very effective, very interesting, very exciting, inquisitive, thereby we will become innovative. And when I use the word innovative, I'm again telling another statistics. 10 years back, we were 81st position in the Global Innovation Index. Today, our number has come to 38th rank. From 81, we have come to 38th rank. That means we have covered half the journey, more than half the journey. If you continue to develop further innovative practices in our colleges and universities, we will be in the top 10 in the next 5 years. That is what we should be able to do. In terms of entrepreneurship and startups, we were having 400 startups 10 years ago. Today we have 1,57,000 startups running. Of course, the number of registered were 1,75,000. Some of them continue, some of them not. But continuing startups are 1,57,000. How much of increase from 400 to 1,57,000 from tier 2, tier 3 cities? In the recent our conflict, unfortunately, this is a universal human value. I should not mention it, but still I'm mentioning conflict which happened in the month of May. We all know Operation Sindoor, because someone attacked and we had to take our measure. The drones were supplied by tier 2, tier 3 city companies, not by big companies. And so our startup journey has enhanced. We were 11th largest economy 10, 11 years ago. Today we are 4th largest economy. You look at any parameter, we have been growing and growing. And our vision of our Prime Minister is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, everyone's efforts. And our journey from 11th to 4th largest economy, from 400 startups to 1,57,000, our global innovation index, our ease of doing business. If you look all of that, if we continue to progress with universal human values as our goal, our ethos, I'm sure by 2047, we will become Viksit Bharat, developed country of the world. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a inspiring address. You address the gathering in a very simple and engaging tone, sir, using numerous practical examples to effectively convey the message and inspire not just students but all of us. On behalf of VTU UHV cell and the organizing committee, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to Professor Anil D. Sahasrabuddhe sir for sharing his invaluable insights and inspiring thoughts. Your guidance enriches our understanding and commitment to universal human values, providing a strong foundation for all of us to grow personally as well as professionally. We also thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Vidyashankar sir, in his absentia, who has always been a strong pillar of support and encouragement for UHV initiatives at VTU. Under his visionary leadership, VTU champions transformative initiatives like this. I thank our beloved registrar, Dr. Prasad B. Rampure sir, for his continued support and guidance. We also express gratitude to registry evaluation, Dr. UJ Ujwal sir, for your continued encouragement and cooperation. Our gratitude is also to all the university and college authorities for their support and presence. Our gratitude extends to every principal, regional and event coordinators, especially to all the first semester students whose participation makes these sessions impactful and meaningful. I thank our technical team for their support throughout the session. I once again thank each one of you for joining us today to uphold and spread the spirit of universal human values. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anil Sahasrabudhe, sir. Thank you very much.